So financial stability is not taught in the Black families. Let's talk about it.
Let's check.
I was lucky. My aunt did. I always knew credit. I always knew savings. Now, all the other stuff in between, I had to learn, through life experiences and business school, of course. She always told me, make sure you have good credit, make sure you have savings. And that's exactly what it is. I always had a savings account. I always had good credit. So I was very strategic in the way I moved with certain things because you just wasn't about to get me. Credit cards. Now I did that when and dad cats got out. Like, it's not that, because as an adult, things just literally happen. So, but I always still am very mindful of my finances. And I feel like as an entrepreneur, people don't save enough. You want to make the money, then you spend it immediately. And then when a rainy day comes, when you don't have no clients, now you crying about you ain't got no, you can't pay your bills. And that's just not realistic. Unless you have somebody helping you financially, or you have family or something. Like, if you're a single person by yourself, there's no reason why you should be spending every dollar that you get.
God, why would they do this to me? Welcome to the Ladies Room, where every strand has a story to tell. I'm Keish, your go-to stylist, where we break down the trends, tackle your tresses, and keep it real about life in and out of the chair. So, grab that bonnet, sip that tea, and let's let our hair down together. And let's open the doors of the Ladies Room. Let's get into it. So, in today's episode, I have Danie, whose silk presses are so smooth that it make you cancel your plans just to show it off. So, roomies, welcome Danie to the Ladies Room.
I prefer trap music, but that's fine.
So what have you been up to? This is my year anniversary. I first started, when we did our first interview. So this is like a full circle moment here. So I just want to know, what have you been up to and what's been going on in your wonderful world?
So I want to say, but for me, I just spent this year, 2024 specifically, I just been trying to get myself together. And I know that's kind of cliche because I feel like every year is always something. Mm-hmm. It's always something.
Yes, it is.
But just really like compartmentalizing parts of my life where I can invest in things that I can control and just kind of like putting to the side the things I can't control. And that's in business and personal or whatever I have going on. So I spent this year doing that. And so now that we are at the end of the year, I can honestly say that it has definitely cleared my mind. Mm-hmm. So I can go into 2025 ready to go.
So what is one thing in 2024 that you're leaving in 2024 that you're excited about in 2025?
What am I leaving? Just the mindset of me being able to feel like I can fix people. Just like me pouring into them is going to fix them, because I'm a solution-based person, like with anything, and realizing that you just have to meet people where they're at.
Amen, sister.
And you can't want it more than they want it for themselves.
Amen.
So I kind of just pull back in that space. And so I'm happy about that because it gives me space to focus on myself.
That's true. Yes. So true. That is so true. So I have a question for you, Danie. Are you ready to talk about hair?
Yes.
All right, girl. Let's make a toast to it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's talk. Let's chat.
Oh, this is good.
Oh, spicy. It is. So my first question is, how did you get started in hair?
So what's so crazy is I just remember as a young child, my mom used to have to buy me dolls and Barbie dolls over and over again because I would literally just cut their hair off. Like, I was obsessed with cutting. Not in that way. Hair. Hair cutting. But I would always style my Barbie doll's hair, my doll's hair. And at the time, I didn't know, like, I had no representation around me of like hair. Like, I didn't see nobody doing hair, nothing like that. But then as I got older, I went to the salon. My mom made sure I was in the salon every 2 to 3 weeks because my hair was very thick and she could not Like she would do it, I guess like in my younger years, she would do it or whatever, because you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
But as I got older, like, I had to get a relaxer. And she just got overwhelmed. So she would just have me get my hair done. But yeah, I would go to the salon every 2 weeks or whatever. And then so it just came to a point where I just started meddling in my own hair. And so I remember one time when I was going to middle school, I was like, okay, I'm gonna just, we didn't have YouTube or none of that.
Hey
So
there, let's talk about self-care, the kinds that really matter. Meet Our Bar by Allure or Beauty, the first unscented unisex soap made for both men and women in those intimate areas. Crafted with organic ingredients like aloe vera, shea butter, olive oil, and a touch of tea tree oil. This gentle soap nourishes, moisturizes, and it also helps keep those things fresh down there. So guys, this may be the soap just for you. Designed to support your pH balance and also prevent odors. Our bar is free of fragrance and full of care. Make it the ultimate upgrade in your beauty routine. Treat yourself in your most tender areas to the love they deserve. Shop now. The link is below.
And I seen a girl, she had the French roll, the bun at the top with the French roll or whatever. And so I wanted that style so bad. So I literally it took me 4 hours. 4 hours. I think I was like 11 and I did that style for the first day of school for 4 hours.
Wow. How did that? I know the girls was like, she ate.
No, so I don't really remember what was received in that space, but I felt good about it. And I'm like, and ever since then, I literally just started doing my own hair.
And so after that moment, you start doing your hair. And so the girls are now picking it up. They're like, yeah, she's the go. She's the.
Because now I'm doing my hair every 4 days. I'm obsessed now. So I'm like doing my hair weekly. I'm doing different styles. It just kind of like came to me. I know that's kind of maybe cliche, but I didn't really learn it. It just literally is almost like I literally was born that way, like to do hair. And so I just, I'm doing hair, people are seeing it. And so not until I got to, I think like 8th grade, maybe like the end of 8th grade, like my friends knew I did hair, but I didn't really do nobody else's hair. Like I would maybe put it in a ponytail or something like that. But 9th grade year is when it started getting real.
Oh, that's when it started getting real.
Yeah. I wanted to go to high school. So I had did my hair in a pin curl ponytail. It was individual single, like I single braid all these braids and I put it up in a ponytail, and I used to actually pin curl each braid into a pin curl, so it made like a fan.
Yes.
And so I did my hair like that, and I had everybody in the school doing it. It was so crazy. It happened so fast too. It was like I came to school. Of course, people knew I do hair, of course. But I came to school with that style, and then it just kind of like
blew up.
It just kind of blew up from there.
Not you went viral before there was viral.
No, seriously. And I started to do that, and then as time progressed, I'm like, oh, I can do singles. So I started doing bobs. I started doing singles in general. We ain't know about knotless nails, so it was just like box grain this. Like now, what they call it now, like tribal, where you do like half braided back and then like the singles of the back. I used to do all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So back in the day, those like scalp braids. You kept
it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you was in the 9th grade. Was you like a girl who was in cheerleading, or you was a girl that was you a popular girl?
No. So I actually used to get bullied in middle school because I wore glasses. And so it was these 2 girls that bullied me so bad in middle school. Like I was so scared to go to school. It was crazy. Like
not the girl sisters was bullying.
No, they weren't even sisters. They was best friends. But it's so funny because I now furthering on, like this is probably years ago, they each one of them separately literally DM me on like Facebook and was like apologizing for the way they bullied me. But I'm like, girl, left on red. No, but it was very bad. Like I used to be very scared to come home it used to be so bad. Like at my locker, I used to be scared to walk home from school. It was very, very traumatizing as a child. So when I got to high school, it was kind of like that transition. That 9th grade year, I had got contact.
I remember those days. I remember.
Now ain't no glasses, no.
Oh yeah, she's coming.
I had that. I had my cute. I was into my wardrobe thing, and it was giving. I have though. And so that's kind of like what it was for me. I just been, oh, I am never said.
And we love that. So, like, okay, then after that, did you go to hair school after you left high school doing hair? Or what was your path from after high school?
So so that was my ninth year. I was doing hair and I had clients. Like I was doing the principal hair, I used to be an ISS. Mom, she probably don't know that, but I used to be an ISS all the time for being tardy to school. But I used to do the ISS teacher hair. Like I would have clients. No, I was working. Like on the weekends, I literally did 2 braid clients per day. I was not playing. Like I was making money. Was booked. And that was before I had and I had a job too. Like I used to work at like some grocery store in my city or whatever. So I was doing that and that. This is not a game. As a young child. But so 10th grade year, I'm like, I actually really love this. So I had a conversation with my mom, and I knew you could go to hair school outside of high school, but my city that I'm from, which is Akron, Ohio, the school.
Shout out to Ohio.
The school had, not my school, but I had to go to another school that had a vocational program for cosmetology.
Okay.
So that was the option. Like I could do it while I'm in school or I could wait. And so I had went back and forth about it because, like once you start, it's like the kids like going into like AP classes and all this stuff. You kind of lose some of your high school because you got to kind of like taking on your adult role so early. So I went back and forth about that because once I got my zhuzh in high school, I actually really enjoyed it or whatever. And so I didn't want to leave my current school because I'm like, I'm popular now. Right? But I talked to my mom and she was like, well, it just make more sense. And then at the time though, my family, not my mom, but excuse me, my family was real big on going to college. So at this point, I'm the only person that's doing hair. At this point, I didn't even know what entrepreneurship was. I just knew I was just doing what I was doing. It wasn't like, oh, I'm an entrepreneur. Like nobody was saying that. No. So I had the pressure of just going to college. Like it was pretty much like hair, not really a big, it's not gonna make any money. It's like a hobby. That's like that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So I was on the fence because I'm like, if I wait till after high school to go to hair school, I'm not going to college too. I'm not doing both. And so, but pick one. But then I still wanted to satisfy. It was more of my aunt than me. She knows I've told this story many times. But my aunt, just like college. So I just decided that I would go to cosmetology school in high school. So when I graduated high school, I had my license.
Yes.
And then I went to college.
Okay, so a question. Your mom didn't do hair. Nobody did hair in your family.
My dad was a barber.
Okay. So was you going to the barber shop and
no. So I had no ties to my dad as a young child.
Okay.
I mean ties of being like communication, but like I didn't even know he was a barber or anything until I was older, way older or whatever. Cause it just was like after a certain point, you just get out of there. Like you just know what it is or what. Not to go deep into but family issues, but you just get out of there. But then I learned that he was a barber. So him and me are the only like hair related.
Okay.
And so as a barber or a hairstylist, you're just an entrepreneur. It comes is like every entrepreneur is not a hairstylist, but every hairstylist should be is an entrepreneur.
Amen. That was true. So when you went to cosmetology school right after you graduated, while you was in high school. So you went to college.
Correct.
So let's talk about college and hair. What was going on then? What college did you go to? And did you do hair while you was in college?
So my college experience was different because I did not want to live on campus. I was not interested. And I had got pregnant at 19.
Okay.
So when I got pregnant, I was going to. It's so funny because what's funny now, but it damn sure wasn't funny then. But I had applied to go to Clark Atlanta.
Okay, yeah.
And I was that's when I don't know if they still do it, but like where you could start in January, like you ain't have to wait until fall to come around again. You could just start. And I applied and I got accepted, but then I found out I was pregnant in November of this before I was supposed to go.
Okay.
And so I just decided it was like family around and everything like that. And it was like, it's best if I just stay here. But I said, I'm moving at some point. Like, y'all not about to keep me here. Y'all not about to keep me here in Akron, Ohio. I just felt like I was way bigger than that as far as hair. Like, I just felt like I wanted more for myself than just being in the shop all day, every day. Even though I feel like moving down here, that's what I'm doing. But also, I've had other great, amazing opportunities, and I just feel like I wouldn't have had it there.
Yeah. I feel you on that.
Or if I would have, it would have been like a very slower pace.
Yes.
Yeah. So I did go to college. I had my son.
Okay.
I was working full time.
Okay.
And so with college, I was in like an accelerator business program. So it was 8-week sessions. It took me 2 years to do it. I just knocked it out. So that's very hectic. So it was that
And with a baby.
and with a baby. And I had now the baby situation, I had tons of help.
Okay.
Tons of help. So when I tell my story, it's never from a single mom. I'm single. I was a single mom because I was not married, but I was not a single mom. I had full financial help. I had full family help. His dad's family helped tremendously. My mom helped tremendously. My aunt helped tremendously. So I don't have that story. My story is, and I needed to do something. I got the hell on. And when I came back, my son was well taken. And they were like, they probably didn't understand the things that I were doing, especially when I moved, but they still were very supportive. Like, I don't know what you got going on, just referencing me, but the baby is fine. Like, I don't know what's going on, whatever. So had a lot of help. So I was able to do a lot of things based off of that.
That's good.
But still with that, I was very hands-on. So it was like I used to be able to, I had to work. The job I had at the time was a cleaner. I used to work at a cleaner's. So Ma and Pa used to own it.
Okay.
So it was very effective because when they were slow, they knew I was in school. They would let me do homework.
Okay.
And then I did hair as well. So I was a full-time mom, full-time college student, full-time. I was doing hair a lot too, like at night up to 2:00 in the morning.
Oh wow. So you were still doing the braids.
Still doing the braids. And then I got into a salon. I worked. Wait, can I say that name?
Yes.
Okay. I'm like, because we ain't giving no free promo. That's just no, but so my first salon job was JCPenney's. So it was JCPenney salon right out of hair school. Right out of hair school. So it's kind of like I was a balancing there. And
So girl, you was a real hustle.
I was doing going a lot. But then once I transferred to JCPenney's, the other dry cleaning job, I kind of just I didn't want to just be like, okay, bye, I'm gone. So kind of like as the JCPenney got more, I just fizzed it away.
Okay. So we're at JCPenney now.
Yeah.
And we're doing that and we're full time there. So while you're working at JCPenney as a stylist or whatever, you're building your clientele.
Yes.
And it comes a point where you're feeling like maybe I need to spread my wings.
Yes.
How did that come about, and what was that day? What was that day like?
So I don't remember a day specifically, but so JCPenney's a lot. I guess they don't really do these type of salons anymore, but it was pretty much, it's a bigger corporation. Yeah, where it pays. So you pretty much got paid based on, you got an hourly rate or commission, whichever one was higher. So that balanced me out because, when you get a new client, when you're new, you ain't got no money. And so also, when I was 20, Facebook was barely there. What was it, MySpace or whatever?
That was the thing.
So it wasn't fast like that. Even if you promoted your hair, it was never fast. The return on investment was not that fast. So it helped me because I was still able to pay my bills because I was living on my own. Like I was out of my mom's house or whatever. So I still was able to pay. It kind of gave me some like stability or whatever because I still knew I was going to get paid regardless, but I still wanted to do hair so bad. I still always overachieved or whatever. Now, the concept of money back then was a little different. Could I have survived today on that? No, but but here we are. At the time, it did me very well. In addition, I was still doing braids. So I wasn't doing braids at the salon because I was just doing haircuts, color, stuff like that. And I was still doing braids at home. So it just wanted to be in hair all day, every day.
And then when it became hair all day, every day, where did you go to another salon after you left JCPenney, or you ventured out into your own thing?
So yes, I went, actually it was like up the street. So I had already had connections with my city's, Akron's not that big. So I had already had connections, whatever. I think if I recall, I think one of my clients was like, oh, I know, because I think I was talking to her about it. Like, I just felt like I had got to a point financially where I was starting to make more commission sales more than the hourly rate, like consistently, like it was probably like 3 to 6 months. I was like, oh, I can do this now. Like, and I know the client's not gonna come with me because you know how it goes. Like JCPenney prices were very inexpensive. And so I just had that. You just wake up one day and you be like, okay, I could do it. Like, you just get that. And I'm one of those. I act on it. When I had that feeling, I don't be trying to convince myself otherwise because I can always go back. That's my savior. Like, I do stuff because I can always go back. And that's probably cliche because it's like, can you always go back?
Well, you can say you try. Like, if it doesn't go your way, you be like, at least I tried it.
Right. At least I tried.
At least I
always
did it.
at least I tried.
I tried. Yeah.
Being in Akron, like, even moving, like, I'm like, if I don't like Atlanta or the phone, it's not gonna be there. It ain't gonna disappear. So it was kind of like that. So then I reached out to her and she was very nice or whatever. So then I moved to her. So I don't remember the time span. I know I worked at JCPenney's probably for like at least a year.
Okay.
I remember because I was too nervous to leave. But then when I got that energy, I went on, and then she charged me. I think my booth rent at the time was like, I'm gonna say like $75.
Bring that booth rent back, please. If we could bring that booth rent back.
The $75.
It's the $75 booth rent.
Well, from a salon owner standpoint, I mean, that sounds good if commercial spacing wasn't $17,000 a month.
Hello. Yes.
Blink twice if you need help. We blink it. Just trying to open up a salon. It's like you find a perfect space. It's like, oh, how much?
Yes. And then you say and then you want this on top of this, and then you gotta have a contractor for this.
And then you want me to build it out? Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna be where I'm at.
Okay, I feel. So you're in Acura, you're in Ohio doing your thing, and do you have this moment where you say, I'm gonna go to Atlanta, Georgia?
Kinda. Well, it was me going to college. I wanted to go to college there. Then when I couldn't go, I still was moving.
Okay.
So not for college, but I told my mom, I said, I'm gonna finish college here, but the moment I'm done,
I'm out of here.
I'm gone. Do you understand? And she, oh, okay, like, you got a child, la, 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 la. I was like, okay,
I'm gone.
So I finished college in, what year did I finish? Yikes.
You just finished college.
I'm just saying, because yikes, did I just have a brain freeze? Anyways, I finished college that January. So first I was planning for 6 months out because I'm like, you got to save, whatever. But a lot of my family didn't know that I was already saving because I knew I was leaving. Like, I was not playing.
Did you know you were going to go to Atlanta, or did you have like top 3 places?
No, I had Atlanta was on my race.
Atlanta was on your radar.
Once I decided I wanted to go to school down here, it was still on my radar regardless. Yeah. So I don't know why. I just feel like at the time Atlanta was hair. Like, I just remember seeing hair, even the books. It was like Atlanta. So I felt like I should get there. But moving forward,
you're talking about you moving from Ohio down here, and your parents not knowing about you saving your.
Yeah. So I was supposed to do 6 months out.
Okay.
That's what I was supposed to do. But then I was doing my clients, like, just consistently working or whatever. And I remember my client said, older client, she was like, I'm going to tell you this. The longer you wait, when that 6 months come, you're going to find another excuse. The remainder you're going to find another excuse. So then I was like,
The wheel started turning. Girl.
And then 2 months later, I was gone. I pulled up to my mom's house with that U-Haul. She was like, oh, you for real? I said, baby, I'm for real. I just gotta go. I mean, it's okay. Like, it's all fine. My baby's going with me. Like, let's go. He's just so excited. Like, where are we going? I'm like, to another place. So yeah, I had that, the issue, not even issues, but like the triumphs in that space. Like, hey, y'all, I know y'all been active and I appreciate y'all, but we about to go.
Yes.
I'm gonna send them home anytime we can, like, whatever. They still were very supportive in that space. And then everybody moved down here. So then here we are. Yay! Everybody came.
So it took you to start the.
I guess I feel like people would have moved anyway somewhere,
but
it was kind of like, I guess because I stood on business, it was like everybody moved.
So you was the lioness that.
So my son had his grandma. Well, one side, grandma, his dad, everybody. Well, everybody's down here.
Oh wow, that's good though. That is good.
Not everybody, but a lot.
But the family, that's good. So you're in Atlanta now. You're doing hair. You're getting your clients. Tell me about that journey of how you got started in that space.
So when I moved down here, so prior to moving, I was on MySpace, found the salon. That's how I found my first salon here. When I got down here, I don't know nobody. I knew the person. I knew 2 people, 3.
Yeah.
My mom didn't move down here until almost like 10 months later.
Okay.
So I knew 3 people and they were family. They don't know nothing about no hair, no business, no nothing. Because at this point, I am an entrepreneur. So I used my business degree. I got a job. Because we not going broke just to say we're entrepreneurs. Not
No,
and I have a child, so I have to do. Because in order for me to even build a clientele, I need childcare. Like, it's all the things. The time my mom is not down here, so it's really just
you.
yeah, me, and I had a little bit of help, but it was still, I just got to
Double. Yeah.
So I got a full-time job, like through a temp agency.
Okay.
That was my first job. I don't even remember. It was like import export. I don't even know. Don't ask. I don't know what I was doing. I just had to get what I had to get.
Yeah.
I worked there for a short amount of time, and then I had a friend at the time who had she worked for a company that provided like concierge service to hotels and condo buildings.
Okay.
So then she wound up getting me hired on. And at the time, because minimum wage was still low. At the time,
It was much lower.
but at the time they were like paying like $15 an hour, like for minimum wage. And I'm like, oh, and they said it was part-time. So I'm like, oh, $15 an hour is bad. So I just wound up taking that on. So I was working 90 hours a week. Let me break it down. And I was working 90 hours.
90 hours.
My part-time job had 20. I was getting anywhere between 20 and 20. It fluctuated, but for the most part, maybe like between 17 and 30 hours. Because, the cutoff before they have to like hire you as a full-time or whatever. And I didn't care. I wanted to money or whatever. So I was like, so that then I was still doing temp work, like, because remember I had my import, that was a temp pepper. Sometimes they keep you on longer than they first. But it was fine because, I ain't have to do benefits or whatever. Like, give me all my money. Hello. So I did that in and out of different companies, like, for that. And then I was going to the salon super late. After everything was over, I went to the salon like sometimes it would be from like 5 to like 2 in the morning with my son.
No.
And
what would you be doing? Would you be doing like braids? So
no braids. I stopped doing braids. Once I got into the salon, after I left the salon, JCPenney's, and moved into the salon where I pay my booth rent or whatever, I stopped doing braids.
Okay, so you just started
doing hair, relaxers. I was doing everything: relaxers, shortcuts, ponytails, quick weaves. What is it? 27 pieces. All that. I was doing everything. I didn't have no niche, no nothing like that. Yeah.
Okay. So you're in the salon. You found a salon on MySpace.
I did.
You're building your clientele. You're doing all those things, and we're in there grinding. We still got our 2 jobs. We got all our jobs, all our gigs. So when did you say enough is enough with all this?
I was getting so much money, but I want to go back. Okay, it was very wild.
I was the moment.
And I was going out, hanging out. It was a crazy.
Girl, where did you sleep?
I don't know.
Where did you sleep?
I don't know, because I am a sleeper. Like, I will literally sleep a day away, and I don't have no regrets. No, a nap, yeah, for a day to just sleep. But I don't know. I honestly can't even call it. It worked out though.
It really
worked out.
So you were doing that, and you ventured out on your own. How did you venture out on your own?
So in 2011, at the building that I was working at, concierge building, it was a resident there, where she did a trip with her family like yearly, like they would go somewhere around the world. And she asked me that I want to go, but the trip was like 14 days, and I was like, "Ooh, how am I gonna take off work, like, or whatever?" Like, I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, cause ain't no job about to give me 14 days. Like, I'm temp and I'm part-time. Like, how am I do that? And it was a while out. Like, she had told me like 6 months out, like, hey, this is what we do or whatever. And so I really wanted to go. So I pretty much curated everything around that trip, and I just made it my last day instead.
And you left.
I left.
And that was your official day of like, I am.
No more jobs, just straight here.
Just
2011, June 2011.
Okay. And so when you did that, You went on a trip for 14 days.
Came back.
You came back, and you're in the salon.
Correct.
And how was
Because
that?
remember, I was already in the salon. Yeah, so I just full throttle. Yep, no. Like, I was there all the time.
All the
All
time?
the time. All the time. All the time. 14, 15, 16, 17 hours a day. I was in the
Not taking no days off?
no days off.
Oh, word.
I'm still like that kind of because I'm a workaholic.
I feel you on that.
I actually love what I'm doing.
Me too.
I get tired sometimes, but I actually love what I'm doing. So when people be like, I'll be like, because you're not at the salon. Go to what? When you're there,
Stay at work. If you stay at work,
keep leaving and doing all
you just stay at work. I promise somebody's gonna walk in, somebody's gonna call you, somebody's gonna email you.
The problem is, well, especially with social media, if you stay at work, this is literally the easiest time for you to build clientele. I mean, it's easier. It's other challenges, but it's definitely easier. But like, it's like you gotta go to work. The social media have literally created a false narrative.
Yes,
it's not real.
It is not.
It's people. There are an exception to every rule.
Yes. When you know,
but the less than 1% that actually have done one or two things and now they're wherever they're at, right?
Yes.
But that is not real.
That is not.
You have to go to work.
You do.
An entrepreneur, you have to go to work.
A question I have for you: why do you think it's so hard for stylists to manage their money?
Because they wasn't taught when they was a child.
Oh.
So financial stability is not taught in the Black families. Let's talk about it.
Let's check.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
For me, I was lucky. My aunt did. I always knew credit. I always knew savings. Now, all the other stuff in between, I had to learn, through life experiences and business school, of course. But she always told me, make sure you have good credit, make sure you have savings. And that's exactly what it is. I always had a savings account. I always had good credit. So that kind of was instilled in me. So I was very strategic in the way I moved with certain things because you just wasn't about to get me. Credit cards. Now I did that when Dad cast got out. Like, it's not that, because as an adult, things just literally happen. So, but I always still am very mindful of my finances. And I feel like as an entrepreneur, people don't save enough. You want to make the money, then you spend it immediately. And then when a rainy day comes, when you don't have no clients, now you crying about you ain't got no, you can't pay your bills. And that's just not realistic. Unless you have somebody helping you financially, or you have family or something. Like, if you're a single person by yourself, there's no reason why you should be spending every dollar that you get as an entrepreneur, as a hairstylist. That's crazy.
That's true.
Especially when you building, like, that mindset of you spending it and getting it right back is a hole that you just don't want to go down. Like, I've been down there. Like, I be spending, doing all kind of stuff, and I'm like, I just get it right back, and then something happened, I would.
And the client that you thought was gonna come that day say, "Girl, I'm gonna call you.
I'm sick," or whatever.
Yes.
Because this was before deposits and all that. Like, you just was doing it on good faith. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a part of the territory. So when people be like, I don't want to do hair because people be canceling, like, you realize that hairstylists are not the only people that have any service-based appointment business. So that's consultants, doctor's offices, like, whatever. If people have to cancel, like, they just have to do what they have to do. But you just have to cover yourself as a business, and people don't,
They don't.
So the concept of money is just like, oh, I'm getting money, and then, like, you don't have all these things because they're not building. They're just doing hair, and that's the difference. Like, you're doing hair because maybe your family didn't want you to, or maybe you think it's fun or it's cute or it's popular, but you building hair and trying to build a business is two different things, and it takes two different mindsets, and you just can't work that way.
You gotta have you can't have that mindset when it comes to that, because that's what really takes away from people actually being in this for business and actually being in this for doing the money thing.
Yeah.
How do you feel about stylists who has this whole thing of come shampooed or come blow dried, or a shampoo's extra added on in your service and all this?
It's just weird. Like, I just don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. It's such a crazy situation. I just don't understand. Like, so the braiders I get, right? Like, I mean, it's still not, stay bored. You should want a clean head. Like, that's just what it is. But I guess in hindsight, I can see with the braiding, it could be a little different because braiding takes such a long time. Like, but a silk press or any, like, how, I don't even understand why that's even a thing. Like, I feel like that happens when people just are not licensed.
Yes.
And if they are licensed doing that, you should know, you know better.
But we have some licensed stylists who does that. I know
Doing what services though?
most of them like their
Like wigs?
installs of wigs. I've seen them do it for the braids. I've seen them do it for some silk presses. Like they told the girl to come already shampooed, blow dried, don't have nothing in your hair, just come shampoo, blow dry, and I'll, do everything else. And they pay the full price.
I don't understand how you can. So you pretty much telling if you telling a client to come shampoo for a silk press, that means you just flat iron their hair.
You basically,
Cause you're not doing nothing else. Cause like even for silk presses, like I've had specifically created my silk press a certain way. I'm not saying it's no different than any other silk press. A flat iron is a flat iron. We get that part. But the products and stuff that I use helps with, like the frizziness and stuff like that. So it's like if I tell my clients to come shampoo, how can I guarantee end results?
right.
So it's very strange.
That is.
And I feel like that's a battle we just never gonna win because this just gonna get worse. It is. And I also feel like sometimes it's just laziness. Stylists is lazy nowadays. Ooh, controversy.
A question I have for you: what do you think the hair industry is missing, and why?
The basics.
Ooh, what are those? What are those?
Communication. You don't know how to talk. They don't know how to sell themselves. The other thing is that I have this conversation often. Hairstylists don't think they in the marketing and sales. Baby, you a salesman.
Yes. From the day that you went to hair school,
Why are you not telling people about your products? You think they just you think they just gonna magically find you just because you do hair great? That ain't how it work. You are in marketing. So take a marketing class, get a marketing coach, somebody to help you in that space, but you are in marketing. A closed mouth literally does not get fed. So
man, to that,
I so understand why I feel like communication, people not telling people about their products, they scared, they nervous. And that comes with time, right? Like to build a confidence and things like that. But people are not in that space. They're not actively, intentionally making that better for themselves. Because you're not communicating to your clients, your policies and the things that you want for your business and just all the things is really crazy to me. So that's the first thing. Second is just because you get out of hair school, because nowadays it's definitely a little different is, with social media. I mean, I've seen stylists that's like 16, 17 who ain't went to hair school yet and they're literally slaying hair. But that does not mean when you get your license, you can just start charging $500. It just doesn't work like that. That tier where you actually had to start at the bottom and work your way up, I think that's lost. And so it is lost. And so with that being lost, what happens is, the skill is there, but your business isn't. So like you doing hair great, but you're rude. You don't show up on time. You not showing up for clients. You don't know how to save your money. You don't know how to price properly. You don't know how to, you just want to get a suite because it sounds great, but you don't realize that suites is monthly rent. Weekly rent. You got to pay for everything. Like it's pretty much your step before a full salon owner where you managing people. They forget about all those things, right? So they forget about all those things. So then it's just like you're just doing hair. You know what I mean? Like it's more than just you shampooing a client and pressing their hair out or installing a sew-in. It's like, what about the business practices? So I feel like that's lost as well.
That is.
You just want to be popular, like.
Okay. And social media has a lot to do with that. And with the whole thing of social media makes you feel like you instantly can go from, you could go to bed this way and wake up the next morning and people are flooding your DMs.
Yeah.
Doing all that.
Not real.
And it's not real. And people don't got lazy to that. Why do you feel like some stylists have became so lazy in the game with this whole thing of becoming an overnight celebrity?
Social media. It's a gift and a curse. If you don't use it right, it definitely will take you down a hole.
It really will. It's almost like a loaded gun. It's a loaded gun. Like it's like boom, 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 boom. You're just aiming and shooting.
Compare. So everybody I don't care what field you in, sometimes you subconsciously compare yourself to other people in your industry, whether you want to think you don't do it or not, it's all in the subconscious. Yes. And then even if you're not aware of your subconscious, that you're taking that in, then you start doing things your actions you're like, you're kind of battling with that because you'll be like, oh, I had a good idea. Then you see somebody else who went at overnight success and they did something slightly different. You're like, oh, well, maybe I should do that instead. It's very easy to get off track. And then also because of like content creation now being a thing, people are living well off of just content creation. I feel like people want to jump more into that. Even as a hairstylist, it's like now you doing hair, but then you become a content creator. You think you're about to make all this money, which you can, but it's not gonna happen today.
No.
It might not happen in 6 months. It might not happen in a year. I know people back in the day when YouTube, I have friends who literally are on YouTube. They've been on there since 2010 and they're just now getting where they can like quit their full-time job and like really take care of their family. Like it's not a game. It doesn't happen overnight. And the people where it happened overnight, whatever overnight successes, I feel like it be happening so fast. A lot of them can't keep up with it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So you just get on there, you get the over. So let's say you had a store, like say you selling bundles. Somebody reposted your stuff. Now you viral. You might make the sales today, but what about long term? You don't know. You haven't took the steps to do like you don't have the marketing skills to. First of all, you don't even know how you got there because most of the time the viral videos don't ever be nothing planned. It'd be something random as hell. But then after that,
Hey y'all, it's me, Keisha again. The Ladies Room isn't just a podcast, it's a whole vibe. Now you can take the vibe with you. We got cute cups, stylish t-shirts, and much more in my merch shop. Trust me, it's giving everything it's supposed to give. So what are you waiting for? Click the link below and treat yourself to some fabulous merch. Don't just listen to me, represent, and go get you some.
You get the business, now you don't know what to do because your supply is so low and the demand is higher. So then you get flustered, you get frustrated. Then you don't have the team, you don't have the product, so it just wind up flopping anyway.
Right.
It's just been too much. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, it does. And then now they're wondering like what happened because it was really like, you ever heard of that thing where they talk about somebody winning lottery and they win the lottery and they have all this money and then they go back film 6 months later and they're broke as ever
because
they really
never learn money management. They never learn money management, and they just it's like you get so excited, but it's not real. Like that feeling is temporary, just like any type of accomplishment, right? Like you can accomplish something great in your life, and it's only temporary. I mean, you can talk about it in 10 years, what you did in 10 years ago, but that specific feeling, you start chasing that feeling again. That's how people never are content, right?
Right.
But with that, it's like social media have really gotten people's head, hairstylists specifically, that you can post one viral video and now your books is about to be booked, and that's not realistic. You can be booked, you might get booked. You will get booked, but like in 2 months, you got to produce another viral piece. Like, and then now you just relying on viral, and then you just skipping all the times where you got to post the videos where you only get 20 views. Like, yes. And be happy in that space because you just feel like every time you should go viral. Now you discouraged. Now you ain't posting at all. Now you really ain't got no clients. It's kind of like a hole. It's really a hole. It's like, it's mental.
It is. And social media has did that to the point where back in the day it was a word of mouth thing.
Very word of mouth.
But now it's the whole thing of social media versus word of mouth.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's both, but social media has took over to the point where people, I like word of mouth, but social media has took over to the point where you have people like, let me see what your social media look like, or let me see what your Google look like, or let me see what your reviews look like, because that's what people are going off of nowadays, which is kind of, it's like it's a whole.
It's a whole. I want both. I want whatever gonna get my books filled. I don't focus on stuff like that. Like, I'll just be like, girl, is you coming or not? For me, I've been doing hair over 20 years, baby. You coming or not? I'm very consistent. My work, this ain't no, hey, today I'm gonna do your hair one way, and then when you come in 3 months, you be like, oh, I thought she was good, but the second time I went, it wasn't that great. It's never gonna be that. I am very consistent. I'm not like I don't have anything special. It's like, what you look at my post from 3 years ago, the consistency is still there. So either you coming to get your hair done, you're not. I'm not about to, I'm not going to convince you. I post my work. Is it either I have to worry about other stuff?
Hey man, I feel you on that.
I have to worry about this stuff.
A question I have for you. We've all had a oops, I've done it again moment in the salon. Describe your oops, I done it again moment.
Like in a negative sense or
in a hair horror moment.
Listen, when I first started learning to do hair color,
Uh-huh.
I need to get all them people my money, they be back. Because it was just, color is very extensive. Let's be for real. I don't care what type of hair. It is very strategic. Yes. And the people who like niche in there, like really niche, I'm talking about like the blonde specialist versus like whatever.
The platinum in and
That
all that.
platinum situation, I'm still, even 20 years in the game, I still be like, y'all can have that. The anxiety that I have around that platinum space, I'm not into it. I can't do it. I can't do it. So when I've attempted, it's given, girl, just stay where I'm at. I'm in the coppers, I'm in the reds, I'm in the dark browns, I can do a balayage, I can do a little mixy, a little color blocking. But other than that, it's given. I might do one or two just for save face and because I actually enjoy whatever the outcome is. But I'm not trying to take on that space. Like, I know my boundaries and I don't like the anxiety that comes with it. I know the people who in that space, they probably don't feel that because they probably on a 11,000 head. They did in that one, like 1,000 foil. I know. Okay, because 2 hours foiling somebody here is some nasty work.
Girl,
I'm like, it's so long.
it's the weaving. You're constantly the weaving.
Weaving and then to still have to then tone and cut.
And then you got to put them on the dryer, sit them.
Processor, so much. I'm tired. And at the end of that bill gonna be $1,100. I don't have time. It's so much work, and I feel like clients don't understand that concept. So, I'm better now. That was kind of like more of my earlier on, but I'm better now, and I still have mistakes or whatever. But I'm very upfront up with a client, like, this is what it is. What it is.
Like, you had a moment where you did a client color,
and it was just out of there.
and
it was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. It's like there's nothing I could have said at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing I could have said.
And because she just felt when she saw the color,
she wasn't even. So she was very more hurt than anything.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing I could have said at that moment. I could have been like, her service. Of course, I'm not charging nothing like that. Like, everything was good. But it's nothing I could have said. So for me, it was kind of like, yeah, no, I'm not doing, this is going to be the last of this. Because I'm not going to be able to do it again. I'm not going to be able to. That's when I realized, like, blondes, like that high level lift blonde, I can do some. I'm very specific and intentional about who I do that space in, those services in. But other than that, that was just the one I was like, okay, I don't want to do this. Like, I ain't like the anxiety around it. It was very crazy. Like, I don't like it.
Because that's how it comes to me when it comes to color. Because you could literally say, oh, I'm just going to do this color, and it takes an hour and a half, 2 hours. And before you know it, you don't spend 5 hours on one client.
Processing time is crazy. So that's why I be telling people, I'm like, oh, they be like, well, how long am I going to be here? I'm like, girl, you could be here probably 5 to 6 hours. I don't know. Because if the box manufacturer directions say 75 minutes, then you got to sit here for 75 minutes. So we just going to be looking at each other. Bring your laptop. I don't know. Like, it's not like I'm working the whole time, but you want the color or not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so with that, we got to the charging. It's like, Lord, we got to charge the price. Like, they're like, it's $600 for what? I'm like, you've been here with me for 7 hours. Are you serious?
Yes. Like, girl, like, what did you think? What did you think this was about?
Like, oh, well, I didn't think it was going to be that much. Girl, yes, you did, because I'm very thorough in the process. You just hoped it wasn't.
Yes, and you thought that because you sit here, I was going to be like, I'm discounting, I'm taking some discount. No. I feel you on that. I definitely feel you on that. How do you feel about people who do run discounts and run specials in their salon or in their business, period?
So I'm down for a special. But I don't like that people lead with specials, because then they get clients who always want specials. So I never led with specials. Were my prices lower than they probably should have been? Yes. And I just led with that.
Mm-hmm.
That my quality or my aesthetic or work was just the price was the price. If I want to do special, I feel like they can be very beneficial to your business short term. You should not be running the same special for 5 months. It's like 30 days, 60 days max, get in, get out. And it depends on the special, because extensions is very expensive and a very expensive investment for the client. Is very expensive for the stylist to provide. So stuff like that, you just got to know your numbers before you just be like, oh, I'm going to get 10% off. I'm going to get 20% off. I'm going to get $5 off. I'm going to get $45 off. Like, you got to know your numbers to know if that's even feasible for your business. Because if your price is already low and you run a special just to get clients in there, you're going to always get clients who just think value like that. So when you try to be in your real space, like, oh, no, this is what I'm worth, you're going to lose. Well, you're going to lose clients anyway, but that's another conversation. But you lose clients. You're always battling like, oh, I always lose clients. Well, that's because your mindset around pricing is crazy.
That's
Like,
true.
you gotta, I know it's confidence a lot of times, but you have to really be intentional about that growth space because your finances, your prices per service is very important if you plan on staying in this business long term. And if you want to, even if you want to multiply into something else, like, you got a salon, you want to sell hair or whatever, like, you can't sell hair if your profit margin is already low. Like, you don't got no extra money. So now you feel like you got to get another job. You got to do all these things because you don't have no money.
That's true.
Because you're not charged. You're just looking like, oh, I think I want to charge $75 for the silk press. Okay, so based off what? Because you feel that way? That's not how pricing works.
No,
Like, you cannot do it like that. You not have no money.
Hello. When have you ever did a price jump and explain that to me? How does that out?
So I always do price notes. It'd be like $5, $5. Then I said, you know what? Nah, I'm done with that. I'm done with that. So in 2021, I think it was 2021, I did my biggest price jump. So all my services, but silk press specifically, I went from I think it was like $75, $80 to $135 as a base price, $160 being a maximum, and then any extra fees like density of hair. Don't want to have that conversation because, baby, I'm charging extra if you got 2 heads of hair on your head.
Yes, ma'am.
All the product in my wrist, okay?
And the wrist, the flat. Oh my God, that wrist go out.
Like, the girl, it's $15 extra. What do you mean? You were born that way. Okay. And so, unfortunately, this is going to be your issue. But yeah, so I did my biggest jump with that. And I was a little nervous. But I've also had clientele that I had for a long time. Some people didn't stay, and that's fine. I had to get, at some point in your journey, you just got to know that you're going to lose clients.
That's true.
That's it. It's a period in essence. You got to lose clients. You can literally be in one location right now and move next door, you're going to lose clients.
Mm-hmm.
You can go up $2.50, or you can go up $250, you're going to lose clients.
That's true.
You can change your hours from coming in at 8 o'clock in the morning. Now you want to start at 10, you're going to lose clients. If you always have the mindset that you're going to lose clients, then you'll just do whatever you need to do for your business.
Hello? Can you say that one more time for the roomies in the back room?
If you always have in your mindset that you are going to lose clients, then you will be free to move about in your business.
Hello.
That is a fact. So your client that's been there for 10 years, if she always supported you, if you not going up because of her, you doing your business a disservice. Your client who been with you for 10 years and they move you from shop to shop, if you not going up because of them, you are doing your business a disservice. The more skill you get, the more skill you get. Now, we not talking about just jumping up in pricing just because you feel like you better. Well, that's not it.
Or you just had a moment where you be like, oh, I'm over, I'm finna go up.
Right, that ain't how it works. You have to be specific in that space. And we not also going up just because you want to afford a Louis bag. That's not what we doing. Okay, but as you elevate your brand, as you elevate your aesthetics, as you elevate your skill, as you elevate your education in hair, you have to go up because the price is the price. Like, Beyonce ain't still charging what she was charging for gigs back in the day. She's way fire. Like, everybody in music, consulting, it don't matter what you do, you have to go up. There's no way that I'm still going to be charging $55 that I was charging 10, 15 years ago.
No.
Now, you must be out of your mind. That's so crazy to
me. That is.
The stigma around hairstylist pricing specifically, I'm really irritated by it because I wish everybody would just shut up.
So what are some things, what are some stigmas around it for you that you'd be like, girl, you arrow?
I'm tired of the constant conversation about pricing on social media. Like, stylists think we should be doing this or shouldn't be doing that. Like, I'm tired. Just find somebody who is in your price range and be quiet.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally billions of hairstylists, swear to God. Like, and it's increasing every day, right? So just find somebody in your price range and be quiet. Quit trying to tell somebody just because they want to charge this XYZ about their services that they shouldn't, because you can't afford them. That is literally it. So the people who making money and can afford the $170 for the silk press are not complaining about their prices being lower. They're paying the money and moving on.
They are.
People who complain about $170 for a silk press is the ones who don't have the money in the begin with. So find somebody. There are very, very professional and talented stylists that that's still charging $85.
It is, and that can give you the $175 work at the $80. You know,
and it is, and that's fine. It's no shade, no nothing. Everybody in their own space. But I'm tired of that conversation. I'm so tired of it. I literally mute. I don't even say nothing because I don't even comment no more because I said what I said.
Hello.
Okay, don't at me. Don't like, cause it's dead. Like, You trying to keep stylists in a box because of your auntie used to do hair back in 1999? That's so wild to me. Like, have you looked at the prices and stuff?
I have.
Like, products is like,
It's girl. Shampoo.
I do Olaplex.
Girl, Olaplex done went up.
I remember this was like a couple weeks ago. I went to get Olaplex. I just went to re-up. I think I paid $175 for the one item.
Yes.
For the
gallon, yes.
I'm like, and you want to, the for soap press is $160.
It is. And it stays there.
Okay.
It don't go nowhere.
And hair extensions. A sew-in, it literally takes me probably $200 to $300 to provide quality hair extensions for a service. The sew-in is $800. I don't know what you thought. It's not. No. I mean, I could get you some cheap bundles, but that's not good a representation of my brand.
Exactly.
So if that's what you want to do, then you can go somewhere where they could charge less, $200-$300. That's fine. But like, baby, over here, this is what it's gonna be. I can't. And if you don't book, cool. I'm not. Because what we doing? You're always gonna lose clients. So I move freely. That's it. It's like, this the price? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It ain't gonna happen here. Okay, this is the price. Here's the breakdown. Here's why you're paying that. If you can't do it, you don't want to do it, you know somebody cheaper, you whatever, have at it.
Yes, I feel that.
Have at it. Because the clients who paying that or whatever, they don't be like, girl, when the next discount? They be like, oh, okay, cool. What you want it in, cash or card?
And I'm rebooking. I'll see by 3 months.
Or my clients be like, oh, in 2 weeks I want a shampoo style. Like, well, hey, if I just drop another, whatever that is. Like, so I think because I've been in that space, like, I always been like that. Even when I was charging $55, I'm never arguing about a client about no price. Because this is what it is. Like, I'm not about to do that. And I would literally just be without before I let you like degrade me in my price space. So this is kind of disrespectful.
It is. It is, because what we charge is our price. You don't know what we went through. You don't know what the training we did. Even if you do know the training we did, it still is this what I'm worth. And I'm not arguing about my worth with a client, with nobody.
And it's like, what do we have to compare it to? There's no chart in the world that you can pull up on the government website that say stylists should be charging this. Like, do you know, it's even with the prices that I charge, there are stylists that charge way more. And the people that's paying that, they not like, oh, I wish my stylist ain't charging them. They is swiping and moving on.
And going about their day freely. I'm pulling the cards out.
Pulling the cash, getting it to pay, doing all the things. I've literally had husbands being like, my wife come to get her hair and tell me how much it is. Like, I'm at Cash App. At the time when I took Cash App, I don't take that stuff no more. But like, husbands being like, oh, I'm about to tip you $150. I love my wife hair. Like, and you want to argue with me about price?
Have at it. Go.
What they say? Find somebody else to do it.
Okay, find somebody else to do it.
Okay.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye. I'm not doing it. I just will not do it.
What are some risks you have taken in becoming Danie, and also in becoming an entrepreneur?
So definitely financial risk. It's a lot being an entrepreneur, especially when you don't have nobody else helping you support that space, like financially.
Preach.
So I had people supporting me and like with my son and stuff like that, but like, and even personally, like to get advice, but financially, nobody has ever supported me in that space.
I definitely.
So it's very expensive. That's why I like to tell stylists they need to start. You gotta start at the bottom so you can understand the concept of business and hairstyling, not just doing hair. It's not just that. You're not gonna be in this game for that long. And so it's a big thing. And nowadays it's so expensive to be a hairstylist for real. Like, if you want anything nice, you want to have a brand that speaks.
Yes,
it's very expensive.
Chairs.
I bought 2 salon chairs and it cost me $945.
I believe.
Like, so what if I'm gonna have it for 5 years? It doesn't matter. And $945 is absolutely insane.
Yes. And so what if somebody just wastes some coffee in the chair?
Or color. Like, for me, I color it up the next day because, you can put all the stuff on there and you still be like, how you click that. You're like, not color on my chair that I just bought.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And if you like me, I like stuff brand new. So I'll be like, do I want to buy me another chair? Like, baby, no. Just leave this chair alone. It's absolutely fine. So it's very expensive. So finance risk is very heavy. I'll say a mental risk as well. I had to just I'm a workaholic, and so I feel like, did I just admit that on camera?
I think you did.
It's okay. Man, I'm not going nowhere. I'm gonna just be a workaholic. Nobody said convince me otherwise. Until I get somebody to help me out. You want to help? Because my lifestyle is gonna be whatever I created, and I like to travel, so you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But so mental because clients, we have as a hairstylist, I have personal stuff going on too that I have to handle. And so my space, like when I come home, this is not talked about enough. Like the space that you live in is very essential to your mental health overall. And it looks different for everybody. It ain't about the money. It's like the space. So like it could look different or whatever for everybody, I know for sure. But as a hairstylist, you at the salon all day. Even I feel like the salon aesthetic too does a lot with your mental health. Not just the clients, but like who you work with, where you work, what kind of place it is. All those things affect your mental health. So it's like at the salon, you listen to client story all day. And it's fine. You're in that space. That's what you sign up to. We don't get paid enough for that, for being a therapist.
We do not.
But whatever, I digress. Because at this point, I feel like I can just go take the state test for a psychologist. So you want the real life terms? Okay, cause well, I feel like I can get it. I can get ace it, ace. Well, I have a lot of experience. But being able to come home and debrief in a space that's clean, that's clear, that's something that you want, because rent got to be paid, mortgage got to be paid monthly, and I'm not paying for nothing monthly that I hate.
Hello. That I don't want to be there.
Okay, so when I come home, my home is very clean, it's very aesthetically pleasing. That's what I wanted for myself. I have everything that I need. It's, I got food, we got drinks, we got all the things. That is what I wanted to create for myself, for my safe space or whatever. When I'm not at work, I'm there working, I'm doing the things, and I feel like I just won't risk my mental in whatever capacity again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and even with clients, like, as we talked about before, you gotta go.
Yes.
I can't, this ain't enough space for both of us. The nagging, the just never satisfied. You not listening to what you come in here complaining every time you come get your hair done about how you on growth or whatever, and you just not doing none of the stuff that I'm saying. I'm tired. Don't ask me about it no more. Just come in here, get your hair done, and let me make it look cute, or do something about it. And if you can't do either, then I'm just gonna have to let you go. It's not worth it to me no more. I just can't.
And another thing is like when you have the clients who you tell them what to do and they still don't do it, or you recommend stuff to them.
Exhausting.
It is. It is. And it's like, girl, I'm the hairstylist. Who do you think you think at home stylist? And I'm just tired of it.
I'm tired.
I feel that.
It's the repeating because I'm one of those in general. Like I hate repeating myself because baby, I'm very loud and I'm very clear. You might not want it to hear what was coming out, but I said what I said. So I feel like I'm very open that space. Like you don't have to read between the lines with me. Either I'm with it or I'm not. Either I like it or I don't. Either the information is there or it's not. I will literally tell somebody I don't know. I can help you out. I can figure it out for you, but I just don't know at this specific time. And if I do know, I know. So it's like I don't really have no in between lines. But clients like that, I just can't do it no more. It'd be like if you not gonna take my advice, because I'm only giving advice based off what you keep complaining about. But if you just come in here to complain about your hair, I will literally just do their hair and ignore that. I will literally ignore it.
And just go about my deadbeat me.
I just do their hair. They're like, okay, your total is whatever, because I can't do it no more. It's just like anything. I'm a fixer. So it's like when you just complain about something over and over and over and over and over again, it's baby at the second complaint, I'm out of there. Because you just want to talk. You don't want to do nothing. Because when I don't like something, I'm going to complain about it first just because I'm trying to figure out, do I want to? But after that, I'm either fixing it or I'm going to shut up about it. Because I'm like, listen, I know I said I wanted to change, but I was just playing. So I'm just going to stay in whatever I'm at. I'm going to keep talking about it so other people are like,
Because that's what it becomes. It sounds productive. It is. That is so true. Let's play a little game here. The game we're going to play is I had a client that. So I want you to give me your 3 most memorable I had a client moments.
oh gosh, 3?
Yes.
Okay, I had a client one time was crying while I was trimming her hair.
What? I had a client that did that also.
No, but let me tell you how I played that. So, when you trim hair, you're on the back end, the chair, right? And I was working next to somebody, right? It was like a silent cry. So so let's be clear. When I trim hair, I'm not just gonna trim your hair just because you said you want to trim. I literally do like, I press your hair out. I turn you around to the mirror. I show you a mirror so you can look to see. I'll tell you what you need, but I still want you to be proactive in that space and intentional and say, hey, I don't want to cut. I know you are anxious, but you only want to cut two, and then we'll create a space for you to come back at another time. Like, we're not gonna force you. I'm not scissor happy. I don't have those issues. Like, that's not a thing for me. Because I don't want nobody to do that to me. And so I don't like the feeling of doing that to a client. Like, that's so crazy because hair is such an attachment to a lot of people, right? And good or bad, right? So I do that whole thing. So for you, if I say, hey, this is where I'm gonna cut or trim, sometimes it's a cut, and you say okay, when I turn you around, I'm going at it.
Mm-hmm. I feel you.
So you could have said no,
Yep.
but you didn't say no. So I cut. And so I didn't know till after the service was already done. Like, even when I turned around, saw her hair, like, I didn't pay attention. Maybe I was just not looking. And then later that day, the stylist next to me, she was like, girl, she was crying in your chair. No, I'm sorry. What happened was she was a referral from one of my other clients. That's what it was. So when they went to work, like weeks later, my client came back and she was like, girl, she was in the salon, she was in the workplace telling people that you cut her hair. Like, cut it without her knowing. Like, it was not supposed to be a thing. And then then the stylist was like, yeah, because that day she was literally crying in your chair. I was like, a grown up over trimming? Oh wow. And that's when I knew at that moment that people literally have sometimes an unhealthy attachment to their hair.
Yes, that is true.
Even as it's so damaged. It's like, not you attached to this, baby. This not gonna be
This ain't there, justice.
because I'm a psychologist, I just sum that up as it's some deeper rooted issue. Deeper. It don't have nothing to do with hair idea. It's deeper rooted. So yeah, for sure. And then I also had a client one time that I don't remember how it transpired, but I did blonde. It was fine. She showed me a picture. I literally did. I always tell them when they send you inspo pictures that it's not gonna be exact. I'm not the stylist, but I can get you close or whatever. Let me put my own creative touch. Did her hair. It was fine. Everybody in the shop was like, "Oh, it looks so great." Whatever. When it comes time to pay, she was pretty much looking at me like, well, I don't like it. And I'm like, well, that's a lie. Because I literally asked you, like, I communicate along the way. So it'd be like, hey, you know how sometimes you got to do a double process color. Say, I'd be like, hey, this is, you will be looking in the mirror and I'd be like, sometimes the kinds be like, oh, I like this color. I'm like, well, if you want to stay here, we can stay here, but whatever. So I communicate very well during the process. So for you to get to the end and tell me you don't like it, and I know you lying because you're just trying to not give me my money. Okay, so if you don't pay me my money, I'm going to call the cops.
They're coming.
They're coming. This is not a game. You or whatever. And so a couple days later, she wound up paying me, but then a couple days later, because social media is the devil sometimes.
They can be.
It circled back. One of my other clients literally sent me a video of her talking on her story about how, like, I did a horrible job, all this other stuff. Like, I was out there sending screenshot and stuff. I've been through that a lot of times in my career. Where people are being like, not you think you being sneaky, and then my clients is tagging me and stuff. I love that part of me. I love that part of me. And it's so I got my money, girl. I don't care. Like, it's just, you can believe whatever. I don't care because I know what I did, and if I didn't do something right, I would definitely apologize for it. And then the last one, let me see, one more. I'm sure I had some moments. I can't really think right now for a third one. Those was just the two.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. In our hair hot topic moments, we've had some moments. We've seen one of the hot topic moments right now is the Miel. Some of her products allegedly are saying that they have had hair loss. There have been stories on TikTok where we've shown where been content creators saying that they've used this product and throughout them using it, they've seen shedding and all this. Um, what is your take on that? And do you use any of Mio products?
So I have.
Okay.
Over time, not consistently, just because I go to the professional store to get product. And if I'm buying it for the salon, I just use it on my hair. I don't really go, like, I guess as a hairstyle, I don't really go out to buy products except when I go to the store to get the stuff for the salon, I just buy products there.
Yes.
However, I have not specifically that I can prove had a client that came to my chair and said, hey, due to these products, that is what happened. Like, but just seeing, I feel like it's like it's always two sides to every story, right? So with the company itself, I guess they was tying into her selling her company. So they're like, if you wouldn't have sold, we wouldn't have had these issues, da, 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 da. And it could have been that or it could have not been that because on the production side, we don't really know what happened.
Right.
It's not like the product was something specific. Like it was a collection. I remember the collection specifically, but it's not like she made some brand new system that has never been tried before.
Right.
And now it's promoting a product. And that's different, right? Like if she did something from like, oh, never been done, that would be different. But so we don't really know what happened in the production. It could have been a lot of things. I mean, stuff, systems, malfunction. I really don't know on that production standpoint. But what I can say as a consumer, though, I just need consumers to get more in tune with what they're using and stop using stuff just because it's popular.
Amen.
Okay, because when you get a new product, if you are noticing things, why are you still using it? It's weird.
Hey,
Why are you still using
you want to be a part of this whole thing?
Because everybody want to be a part of something.
Everybody want to be a part of something.
Not you about to be bald trying to be a part of some part. You not bald fan. You awful. Not you trying to, and then now you want to come in the salon and cry and be like, girl, when you notice products, we know anything. They have it might not be immediate, but you will know but you so in tune with the product and not your actual hair is the reason why it's been 5 months and you ain't realize you was going bald.
And then my thing is, this the only product you use, and you say, I didn't notice this. Girl, how did you not notice?
How did you not notice that? Because the stuff that I seen was very extensive. Wasn't like, well, oh, I had a piece. No, like it was very extensive. So you were using it over time. You mean to tell me you never noticed? Like you do your hair all the time. You're this active in your hair, and you gonna tell me you never noticed that you had shedding?
No.
That's great.
That is absolutely, and the new word that people love, that's weird.
It's weird. It's concerning that you are neglecting. It's like, how are you not neglecting your hair but neglecting
What word did you say? What? It's very what?
What?
It's very concerning.
It is very concerning that you would like that you're so in tune with a product that you're neglecting your hair, but then you really not neglecting your hair because you invested in a product. It's like I don't know. I feel like I'm not blaming it on the consumers because, of course, if a product doesn't work, it doesn't work. Well, you are not in tune enough for me.
I feel you on that.
Because when I use a product, either if it's a moisturizing product, right? Let's say your hair is lack of moisture, right? And you use let's say you want to try something. After about 3 to 4 shampoos, if it's not doing nothing, I'm
definitely
out of there. But the problem is products cost so much, people don't want to let it go. Throw it away.
Yeah.
It don't work.
It don't.
Why are you using products that don't work? I know you paid $45 for that conditioner, baby, but it don't work.
It's not true.
It don't work. You got to give it to somebody, gift it to somebody else, or throw it away. Why are you still using products? You got to move on. And they don't be moving on because they just want it to work. They want it to work so bad.
Yes.
And now you bald.
And you're very bald. Very, very bald.
And because social media have given so many people just so many things. It's like, oh, I use so-and-so on my hair, and now my hair is down my back, and my curls are popping. Then you go use it. You don't even know what's going on with her. You over here buying protein products. Your hair don't even need protein.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, my God. That is the new thing of the...
I'm like, if I share the word protein one more time, and they don't know what's going on, like, listen, so between processing and porosity, I'm
so please, the 2 B's, pushing B's.
Talk about that. I'm actually going to do a video about this because I'm so tired. You went on social media, somebody told you that this is what it is, and now you think you're about to go out and get products that got fired. Your hair is going to fall out.
Oh, girl. I have a story about that. My client, I said, girl, the next time you come to the salon, because, she's the girl who wear braids and all this, I said, we need to start thinking about doing a protein treatment on your hair. This roomie went and brought her own protein treatment, girl. Did the protein treatment, came back to the salon. Oh, I did my own protein treatment. Why your hair is breaking off?
It's because people don't. And protein is such a potent thing, and if you do not need it, you should not be using protein.
I didn't say we need. I said we need to start thinking.
Like, what are you doing? And then you like, okay, you didn't do a protein treatment, but then you are going to use a product with protein? Are you? Oh my God, get out of there. You just using stuff so you can be a part of something again. Yeah, stop it. Like, it's so nerve-wracking as a thought. Like, I've literally been on social media scrolling my own business. I should be seeing hair disasters. And I'll be like, I'm not going to keep on. Because you don't want no advice. You got 30,000 people who over here like, oh, I did that to my hair too, and they look da. And then I'm looking like, this is a disaster.
It is.
It's just it's too much. It's just too much information. It's almost too much information to the point that it's making people slow.
That is very slow.
It's like, or just common sense. Like, I feel like, and that's across the board. Like, it's so much information that people are lacking common sense. Because ain't no way you would still use a product if your hair is already shedding. Like, that is absolutely tough.
I mean, I couldn't even fathom, like, after the first 2 shampoos, I would start kind of noticing, like, oh, so
Is your curls getting bouncier?
yeah.
So hair feel moisturized? Do you have is your hair water loop like this deep? Like you're not nothing, you just gonna keep using it? Oh wow.
What is your take on Miel selling to mass produce?
I think businesses are supposed to grow. And if you're not into business, you wouldn't understand that. And so that's why you on social media talking about she shouldn't sell. Business, if you think so when you get into business, I mean, whether you do it or not, you're supposed to have an exit plan. And she didn't even exit. She literally is still on.
Right.
So, because some people be selling, and it's supposed to be hands washed. Like, you get your money, they buy you out, and then you're supposed to move on. She did not. She still stayed on. So, but I feel like the concept of business people lack, and it's not really for everybody, right? Because if you're not an entrepreneur or whatever, but just doing some research on your own to know that that is a thing. Like, you come into a business, you produce a product, you produce whatever it is, you eventually want the CEO. That's why CEOs step down. They don't step down because they don't want the business, though. They step down because they have other things that they want to do. They hire somebody else to replace them, but it's still, they might still have their hands in their business. You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes they don't. They just start a new one. And so I feel like people don't understand the concept of how you're supposed to start somewhere, you're supposed to end somewhere. She wasn't going to be able to do it long term. The demand is higher, is growing, is bigger. And then just be for real, like, no matter, as a Black business specifically, you just go from small to large, and sometimes you don't even have the capital to do that, and you want to spread your wings, so you want to venture out to other countries and other parts of the world, and sometimes you need that bigger company that's been in the game for forever to come in and take you under that wing. So that is kind of how business works. And so I was like, oh, I actually thought it was a positive thing. Like, girl, you did your big one. Like, you started off with a small product, you worked your way up in this 10-year period. I don't know how long it's been or whatever. It's been fairly long.
Yeah.
I mean, to her, it's been long, but us, it's just like microwave.
Yeah. Just
for you to go from that so a bigger company want to buy you out, I feel like that's amazing. But I guess, I don't know. Maybe all the entrepreneurs, they like root their own, but who are not that, they don't. They're like, some people, they want, because it's about self. Like, oh, if you wouldn't have did that, then my hair wouldn't be falling off from these products. It's like, girl, you are one, not the downgrade customers, but like, you are literally one on a trillion scale
of
and every product ain't for everybody. So
not. And we have to realize that every product don't work for all our hair types and textures. Like, you can't use one product and expect this one product to work on, you know what I'm saying? Just because it worked on her hair doesn't mean it's going to work on your hair.
You can literally have the same exact curl pattern and it's still not going to work, don't it?
No.
That is so, I need people to know that when they looking for YouTube and all that stuff, like, it's not a one-all be-all. Even with advice, it's not a one-all be. I could tell you exactly. Somebody could say, how did you do from step A to step B, step D? I could tell you exactly, but you can do the same thing and still not do it. It's not, it just doesn't work like that. You just take what you can, take what applies, and everything else you let it fly. But people don't be letting it fly. They be taking on everything. They take on the whole exact step 1 through 10, and that's where it get weird.
That's so true. A question I have for you in closing, what would be something you would want to tell to the young stylists out there who are thinking about becoming a hairstylist, and also stylists out there who are wanting to venture out in 2025 and open up, whether it's a salon suite, or just being an entrepreneur? What advice would you tell them, and why?
Save your money.
Ooh. Bling, 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 bling.
Save your money. You're going to need it for a rainy day. And now, because things are so expensive, save your money. You need it for days that you're sick. You need it for days that your clients don't show. That is a thing. You cannot control them. So you need to save your money. And first, I literally just talked about this. You have to want to do hair. Hair is not a thing. It's not fun all the time. It's not cute. It's not nothing. It's very long hours.
Yeah.
Very much
Keeps
dedication.
you up at night.
Very much dedication.
Yes.
You doing hair just because you seen somebody on Instagram make all this money. That is not a thing.
Or they got a lifestyle. They see these people with the hair lifestyles and they do all this.
You have to want to do it because before you get the money, you gotta have a passion for it, or it's gonna flop every single time, and you're gonna keep starting over every single time, starting over. So you gotta want to do hair, and you have to be consistent. When a client's ain't there, you still gotta be consistent. When you get that viral video, and then everything else is flat for another 3 months, when you just posting content or word of mouth or whatever, or whatever you get your clients, and it stay flat. You know, if you're passionate about it, if you continue going. If you don't do nothing in that space, then I know you need to find you another job. This is not a fun. This job is very rewarding, but it's not fun.
Yeah, I feel you. Amen.
All the time. It's not like
it's
fun for the opportunities that you could get because it's like, oh, you do hair. Oh, you do hair? Oh, I want to connect with you. You do hair. It's always that. But in reality, it's not fun. So it's like people just doing it for whatever reason, and then they get in here and they burnt out and they complaining on social media and doing all that. Like, girl, please. So that's probably the two. You gotta enjoy doing hair. Like, I'm talking about fully enjoy it, not just your cousin or just your hair because you want to look cute. Like, you have to fully enjoy that space and save your money.
That's true. That is so true. I feel like that is so true because with stylists, what we talked about earlier, we have a moment where stylists we didn't have money management. And then when you was in school, they ain't teach you about they ain't teach you nothing about how to manage your coins or anything. Only thing they taught you about is get on that flow and the pass state board. That was the only two things they taught you. No business at all. So that is very true that you said that. I just want to say, Danie, it has been really fun talking to you this evening about hair. We've had our moments about your oops, I done it again. We had moments about when you started off, how you got started and being a hair hustler. Has been very, very fun. Oh, one more question I have for you. With the year ending, what is one thing you want your clients to stop doing in 2024?
Stop not taking my advice. Like, complain, okay, vent, I got it. Now here's the steps. Either do it or don't do it. And if you don't do it, that's fine too, but I don't want to hear about it. Again. Okay, like that's it. And that goes for everything.
I feel you on that. I definitely feel you.
We're having, because something's always will happen. We're getting at, we're identifying it, and then we're fixing it.
Yes.
Or letting it go. That's what we do. We're not like all that in between. I don't want to do it. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I don't want to do it.
I feel you. I definitely feel you. Because that whole thing up, I tell you this, you don't do it, and going back, girl.
Then you come in 3 more weeks. We got to talk about it again, baby. I'll and putting my earplugs in. Now let's
release the
saying I'll listen, but I won't be saying nothing.
I'll phase out. You like, did you do that?
Because when somebody talking to me and I'll be like, dang, that's crazy. That means I'm not listening. Now I'm gone. So we were thinking about like later when I get home, am I gonna have one or that's like I'll be thinking like, oh dang, what time can I go to the gym in the morning? That's what I'll be doing. I sat.
I gotta watch this to make sure.
Yeah, I'll be out of there.
Yes.
Or once I have a feeling that you're not that you have to take my advice fully, but once I feel like you just want to hear yourself talk, then I'll just be getting out of there.
Yes, see. I'm over it. And in my head, you already at the register. I do know.
Yeah, right. Play for the next time who I see is like, hey girl, I did. So the last 6 months I've been doing what you told me to do. Like that's the kind of not the oil, the shampoo. Yeah. I'm coming in there looking at the hair and I'm like, I know, and it feels like tight. You know, that's what we just know.
I love that. That is so true. So I just want to say, Danie, this has been so fun talking to you. Thank you so much for coming in the ladies' room and sitting with me and the roommates chatting about hair.
Thank you for having me.
So one thing I want to say to everybody out there and to all the girls and guys out there in the ladies' room, remember guys, keep your edges laid and your hair healthy. Until next time, see you soon. Bye guys. Thank you. Woo.
That was awesome. Oh, that was awesome. That was. If you want to do any intro or ring in the episode, okay, do it now if you like, or I can take a clip from the conversation y'all have, whatever you decide. Okay, so it's 2 different styles, right? You can literally say 5 things that are borderline controversial,
Uh-huh.
and I can cut it up just like 3 things each,
Uh-huh.
and then start the episode that way to get attention,
Okay.
or I could do that clip, whatever you decide.
Oh, okay. So you said 3 things that was
That might borderline trigger people, but it's very true. You said a lot already.
What